Once upon a time, there lived, in the not-so-mythical kingdom of TCI Cable, a pretty girl named Kim. By all accounts, Kim was a friendly girl of pleasing countenance, who seemed content to spend her days pondering the secrets of the universe.
Does a water fountain count as a piece of office equipment?
But at night, her heart was heavy, yearning for the bittersweet fruits of love. And so the next morning, she decided to set out on her quest to find...
my idea of the perfect man.
At daybreak, Kim made her way to the village of Ad Sales in hopes of securing a husband. She first encountered Ryan, but was afraid that kissing this frog wouldn't turn him into a prince. But don't feel too bad for Ryan, for he would soon be sharing his lily pad with his soulmate, Cindy. Next there was Chris, but it seems Chris was too preoccupied with his upcoming Anthony Edwards lookalike contest to pay any attention to Kim. Tired and delusioned, Kim decided to seek an audience with the freaky sisters of Ad Sales for some romantic advice. And though the sisters' advice was cryptical at best, it did steer her to the cottage of Russ. Upon seeing Kim, Russ was smitten, and he tried to impress her with one of his clever poems.
Blah, 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 blah.
And while the prospect of Russ intrigued Kim, the prospect of Russ's wife, Barb, did not.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Thoroughly disappointed with her stay in Ad Sales, Kim decided to venture to the strange, distant land of Winona to find her prince. Upon stopping at a neighborhood pub to refresh herself, Kim had occasion to solicit opinions about the exotic Winona men from some of the local women.
I don't know anything about him.
I don't have an opinion.
Doesn't really matter to me.
And after meeting these men, Kim concurred with the sentiments of the women at the pub.
Well, to get the right kind of money, I suppose it really helps.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe next year. Haven't figured it out yet.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Upon leaving Winona, Kim had a brief encounter with the old wizard of TCI himself, Dean. And while Dean's mind appeared to be wandering, he did indicate that Kim's destiny would take her to the Oracle of CSRs. En route to the Oracle, Kim met a kindly lady named Rosie. This seemed a bit serendipitous because Rosie's dream was
to get my son married.
And though Matt was willing to marry Kim,
it's fine with me.
Kim was not, for she had to fulfill her destiny and seek out the Oracle of CSRs. Still some miles away from the Oracle, Kim came upon the dwelling of Terry, and he was overjoyed upon seeing her.
Hallelujah.
But equally despondent at her hasty retreat.
Build something from the ground up and make it work. New direction.
Next she encountered Steve, but left him heartbroken as well.
I think it's a crooked deal. It was a payoff.
At long last, Kim made it to the Oracle of CSRs, a secret coven of witches, sorceresses, priestesses, and prophets who specialized in affairs of the heart. The apprentice Darcy agreed to cast a love spell on Kim, but later admitted that her spells were
full of shit.
Seeking out another spell, Kim approached the priestess Lynn.
I don't have any.
Growing tired of spells, Kim turned her attention to the prophet Tracy, who seemed apathetic at best.
Don't know, don't care.
Now, utterly confused, Kim went to the witch Andrea for some advice.
Stay out of trouble, exercise more.
Losing patience with the oracle, Kim appealed to the wisdom of the enchantress Jane on whether or not she would ever find a husband.
Well, I guess I would rather not reply.
Still confused by her time with the oracle, Kim came to the conclusion that her husband would be found in the city of technicians and installers. On the outskirts of town, Kim encountered a dirty old man named Woody who seemed awful glad to see her. Deciding against stopping for pleasantries with Woody, Kim went on and eventually came to the house of two deviant brothers, Paul and Brian. And while Paul was too kinky for Kim's tastes,
You gotta hold that thing for a while and let me think one up.
she was afraid that Brian would have trouble being kinky at all.
Had a little problem with it, and a few other things.
Next there was Chad, who, like our friend Russ before him, tried to use words to woo the fair Kimberly.
Loot fix, a bun tent,
But after her previous experience with the poet, Kim decided it best to move on. Then there was Kevin, and even though Kevin liked what he saw in Kim, they both agreed amicably not to pursue a relationship. Like a whirlwind, Kim sped by Joe's cottage without even hardly noticing him at all.
Bye-bye.
And as for Bill, well, I think you can guess what happened to him. Desperate and running out of men to choose from, Kim came to the home of Ron and promptly asked him to marry her.
Let me think on that one for a minute.
But much to Kim's surprise, Ron's answer was,
I can't.
Beside herself in despair, Kim made her way to the last house in the city and knocked on the door. It was love at first sight. Larry became a schoolboy again, laughing and singing.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
And Kim made boastful promises that only a woman in love should.
I'm gonna stop drinking.
And what happened on that first night together?
It's between me and Kim.
And while most fairy tales have happy endings, this one cannot. For even though Kim dearly loved Larry, she was consumed with dreams of his death. And so she consulted Jennifer the clairvoyant, who offered a bleak prognostication.
He's going to die very soon.
But who would want to kill Larry? Perhaps one of the suitors who Kim rejected?
He deserves to die.
What the hell? Let's give him a happy ending.